No, you're good.
No.
Well, you've got more,
Anything that's
over the
cute,
years,
she's
you've
like,
got
that's
much more
why
invested
this
in this
year.
church as
Yeah.
part
I kind of, until I sat down,
You know.
forgot I was on vestry for
Yeah,
like
well,
6 years or 8
Yeah.
years, whatever it was.
And Meg's
were
brand
really
new, so
involved.
you've got the two.
I was. I'm not as involved as I
contrasts.
was, but I also taught Sunday school and
You did it
all
all.
that.
And I've just been hanging
Okay,
around
this
for
film is still rolling, ladies.
72
Should we
years
stop?
and enjoying it, you know.
Cut.
Hi, I'm Tina Conan. I have been a member of this church for 72 years. When my family moved to Indian Hill, and I was 12 years old.
I'm Jennifer McNair, daughter of Tina Conan. I think we officially joined the church when we moved back to Cincinnati about 20 years ago. But I was also married here before that. Even though I was raised Catholic, I married a Presbyterian, and now my 3 children are Episcopalian.
My name is Meg Conan, and I'm married to Tina's youngest, and we are new members of the church. We left the Catholic Church to join this church to be with family and to be in an environment where we felt it was very welcoming.
Probably one of my earlier memories of this church is the Christmas Eve midnight service, carol singing service. Something I look forward to all year long. I didn't live in town for a lot of years, so I didn't get to spend a lot of other time at the church, but it was something, and I still think it's special.
I have to agree with Jen. Raising my 3 children Catholic, not being Catholic, I did not, in those days, have any that came to this church, although I continued to come to the Indian Hill Church. And the one time that they did come with me was Christmas Eve, and so it's always been a very special memory for me, and particularly now that my husband's gone. It's just was such a special evening. I still think about it. I have happy memories and I have sad memories. I remember as a teenager, we had a youth group, and we had a dance. It was pretty hysterical. We used to take the Mary, Jesus, and Joseph, and whomever we could sneak from the storage room downstairs, and we dressed them up for the dance. It was not particularly appropriate, but we sure did have a good time. So just because it's a holy place doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. The church, in my mind, this church particularly, is a family, but it's also a business. It takes money to run this church, to do all that has to be done to keep it running, but even though we have many volunteers, it takes money to support the church. And I think, particularly for me, I've grown up in this church, and I've always been, I've been coming on and off for virtually 72 years. I don't want to see it change. I want to see it thrive. And I want the people in it to thrive.
But I will say that I think being part of this community at this church, you can give as much or as little as you're capable of. And some of it's just time or effort making sandwiches. And way before we even joined, our family, you guys and friends of ours, reached out and said, oh, would you want to do the sandwich thing? So we were even part of some of the organizations you have here at this church, even before we were part of the church, because it is so welcoming. So people can give their time, their treasure, their efforts, but there's
And their
a lot
talent.
of ways. There's a lot of ways to.
Time, treasure, and talent.
Yeah.
We went through a number of ministers. It's difficult for 2 ministers to work together
Always has
in
been.
a church,
Always.
but I really feel like we've hit our stride. And Jason and Stephen seem to have a great rapport and work very well together. And
They're
I just see
exceptional,
nothing.
I think.
I see nothing but
Yeah.
positives going forward for this church, and I hope that inspires people to be generous with their donations.